Hey everybody, it's Nathan Selove with another edition of Autism Actually Speaking. This is my second video trying out having the mic in the shot. If I get a lot of negative feedback saying that it covers me up too much, then it will be out of it in the next video. But if you all think that it sounds a lot better to have it right here and that you don't mind it being in the shot, then I'll keep it there. So make sure to let me know, give me some feedback. So today's topic is one that I've been very hesitant to talk about for a while, and it's one that I'm still kind of dealing with, and that's coping with loss as an autistic. So today's video is definitely going to be a lot more intense and heavy than some other topics that I've covered. I've often found that as an autistic, I sometimes have a much more unique way of viewing and processing loss. One of the things that I don't think neurotypicals spend a lot of time thinking about is the fact that dealing with the loss of a loved one is also dealing with a change in routine. I know that that might not sound like a huge deal to a lot of other people, but to those of us on the spectrum, routine is really something that makes us feel structure in our life. And when that structure gets interrupted by a person no longer being in our lives, it can feel very triggering. At the same time, sometimes autistics mourn in ways that neurotypicals may not understand. While we might sometimes have a very outwardly emotional response, sometimes we don't. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we aren't mourning, it just means that we sometimes don't know how to mourn. So it's never easy to prepare for the inevitability of losing someone who is a loved one. And I'm not going to present some kind of magical cure-all to grieving or loss. But I do have a few tips that I feel like I can offer to people on the spectrum who are going through that or might go through that at some point or have already gone through it. First off, it is important to reestablish some kind of structure. Go back to some routine. Another thing is thinking about the past. As in, think about the times in which there has been a major change in your life and you've been able to get through it. You've been able to find ways of coping with it. And use that as inspiration for how you can get past this new trouble. And try to use those around you. I know that a lot of autistics may not need emotional validation from others as much as neurotypicals do, but it still can be very helpful and very soothing to talk to someone, or at least to know that there are people there for us. For those of you that are new to the channel, I recently lost my former service dog, Sylvia. She was my service dog for almost 11 years, and she had been with me for every second of the day throughout that entire time. And we were best friends, and she was really a part of me. The other day, I had a dream that she was with me, and I got to be with her. And I got to play with her. And then I woke up and she wasn't there. And it really made me realize just how much I'm not fine. I'm not doing okay. And I'm reminded of that every single time I accidentally call Blake Sylvia, or every time I see someone that I haven't seen in years and they ask me how Sylvia's doing, or they mistake Blake for Sylvia. I'm reminded of the fact that there is this void in my life that is never going to be filled. And every single time I'm really happy or feeling really good, there's this voice in the back of my head that makes me feel guilty for being happy in a world where she's not here. And I don't know how to deal with that. And I'm trying to come up with ways and come up with strategies, and the strategies are helping, but they're not getting rid of the main problem, which is the fact that she is not here. So when you experience loss, you have to accept the fact that for a while you're not going to be fine. And sometimes even harder than that, you have to accept the fact that someday you might be fine. Someday, the world that exists without the person that you lost is going to be a fine world. And I think that that is harder to accept. because I know that one day I will be fine, or eventually I'm going to be fine. So I want to thank those around me, and I want to thank the viewers of this channel for all of your support. And I want us to take this as an opportunity to share with each other. One of the things I love about this channel audience is the fact that they're often very supportive of each other. So if you are going through a loss right now, then I want you to feel free to comment about it. And I want you all to look through those comments and see if you can offer help to those in need. Be resources for each other. Be there for each other. Well, that's today's video. Thank you for watching.